Good evening, everyone. Hello. Oh, I love seeing your faces. And before we get started, I'm going to invite everybody. You're able to unmute yourself. Let's all say hi and put our voices in the room.
Hey.
Good morning.
Hey.
Hi,
everyone.
everybody.
Nice to see you
all.
Hi.
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 I'm on mute now.
Hello.
Thank you. That's so fun. I love seeing your faces and hearing your voices. And I'm looking at everybody here, and you are my soul family and my soul friends. And I am so grateful to be with you tonight to welcome you to USM's third annual feast on Thanksgiving. What a wonderful opportunity to come together. And I just see so many familiar faces. My heart is just overflowing with love and gratitude. And I know I'm extra grateful to come together with my soul community heading into the holiday season so I can fill up my cup and take the end of this year with just gratitude and love everybody I come across at this time. So thank you for joining us and being that with me. And I'm going to turn it over to the one and only Drs. Ron and Mary Hulnick.
Gratitude to be with you this evening. And how about if we call ourselves into the light, Ron?
Call ourselves into the light by all means. And we might consider that we're not really calling ourselves into the light. We're calling ourselves into the awareness of the light, because the light is there all the time and it encompasses us all. And so, Lord, we ask just now to be filled, surrounded, and protected with that awareness that we are of the light, we are in the light, we are the light. And we said this prayer to confirm our intention to simply awaken more fully into that awareness. And for this time together this evening, and that recognition, we give our thanks. So be it.
And let's move into our 5-minute peace meditation. What a beautiful opportunity to once again bring our awareness to our hearts, to the presence of peace and the presence of love that we are. Those beautiful qualities of the soul that reside within our hearts, within our higher consciousness, that inform us, guide us, bless us, and direct us. It's a beautiful blessing to be together here this evening in the spirit of gratitude. Gratitude is surely one of the keys for expansion, especially if we find ourselves in a place of contraction. The beginning to count our blessings, to move into the sweetness and grace of gratitude is elevating, transforming, so lifting, bring us into the fuller experience and awareness of the beauty of the divine within, of the majesty of our soul, of our capacity to transcend, to transform, to meet the challenges of life with strength of heart, with stamina and endurance. And we send the light ahead of us here this evening that we may elevate, lift ever more fully, more directly into that spirit of gratitude and grace. And we extend this blessing to everyone who's part of this gathering, part of this community, whether they're present with us here or not, to your family and loved ones, those closest to you, your beloved four-legged friends, and all across the planet, that this network of light, we're located in so many different places, that the network of light may unfold and illuminate the planet and all humanity, all life forms, and that this blanket of light can bring a blessing of healing grace, that whatever may have been broken or hurt in a experience or perception of less than wholeness, that the experience of gratitude can restore us to our wholeness, the holiness of who we are, the awareness of that majesty and grace, the luminous light that we are. And for this time together, we say thank you. So be it.
So be it. Well, great to see you all here this evening.
Ron and I were talking together this afternoon about the theme tonight, Feast on Gratitude. And there's just so much gratitude present in our hearts for
everything.
for so many things. But I think in this moment, perhaps we're most especially aware of the privilege and grace. We have great gratitude for USM and for the offer that John Roger made to us so many years ago, which was an offer that we couldn't refuse. And all that has...
Remember how he put it?
If you ever had a dream... Go ahead, you say it.
If you've ever had a dream of having a school the way you always wished it could be, this is your opportunity. Well, that just brings tears to my eyes.
Yeah. Little did we know all that would unfold and all that that has meant and will mean even as we continue ever onward. So
we thought a nice way to just move into this evening would actually be a message that you've probably read at one time or another, but we thought we'd read it again this evening, and that is John Rogers' founder's message.
Which he gave in 1976. Ron and I actually met him in 1978.
Here's what he said. It's time we place the spiritual energy down onto the physical world. And the way to do this is through education. We shall teach and learn to cure ourselves rather than alleviate symptoms. We shall transcend to the point of going through something for the last time. Completion will be part of the spiritual ecology. Education will be taught from divergent points of view. We shall have those teachers who can evoke from students the level of consciousness of knowing. Teachers and students alike shall be reaching for that next plateau of consciousness, regardless of what God we worship and how great we think we are. We're going to open the next level to eternally traveling consciousness. The education of the New Age is transcendental. It is education where you do not fail, where individual difference is recognized and considered holy. We do not allow individual students to fall out because they cannot sustain the energy of holding on to a subject matter. If necessary, the whole group stops and counsels in order to raise the enthusiasm and interest. In other words, we shall elevate the consciousness of learning. Through the University of Santa Monica, a wisdom school will effect realization of truth beyond the verbal level. Each student and teacher will become truth. Part of the educational process is to understand who you are as a being on this planet. The last frontier is inner space, reaching the truth that you are. We shall take the truth of any approach, but we are not interested in people standing up and talking about truth. We shall have people who reveal the truth of their beingness. That shall be the teacher of the New Age. We shall be able to see the evolutionary scale of the students and what they need at this moment in their own transfiguration, in their own translation, in their own transcendental education. New vistas will be opened, permitting entry into the consciousness of love. The thrill of the University of Santa Monica will be learning functional information that is readily usable. Students shall learn how to live in this world, to be in the here and now, and to be involved in the unique process of spiritualizing themselves. The University of Santa Monica is going to be based on a foundation that is a process of love, where everybody is teaching and learning, and somebody is guiding the information. We shall teach and learn from the center of love. We shall bring in students who will go through the difficult but necessary transcendence of the mechanical level, and who will finally answer that inner call that shall evoke their beingness. If you participate in this process of transcendence, you will know what education truly is, because you, as the student, will then become education. You then become meditation. You then become all things, and you become nothing. You make nonsense, and you make all sorts of sense. You become a paradox to the profane, and to become a way shower to those who are looking, and those who are there find in you the oneness. It shall be difficult, but to whom much is given, much is expected. When you get a degree at the University of Santa Monica, it won't be that you pass the prescribed line of study. it will be that you can do what it says you can do. 1976. Can you believe that? How many years is that? 86, 96, 06, 016, 46 years? Something like that.
I think so, Ron. Wow.
That's a long time.
Wow. It's as awesome as the first time I heard it. So thank you so much for sharing that. So, oh my goodness. And yes, we're so grateful for John Roger for founding the school, for the spiritual energy field that to us is really the heart and essence of USM, and to all of you, the students and graduates, those interested in this work who have partaken, and continue to partake. What a joy and privilege and blessing to be with you, to know you, to love you. And I love that our programs have gone on over time so that we've had the opportunity to spend sacred time together for extended periods, really.
As we intend to continue doing.
Yes, so beautiful. And by the way, at the end of the evening tonight, we're going to be sharing an exciting announcement about 2023. So please stay with us. So is there anything more you'd like to share, Ron, on that front?
No, what more is there? What more is there to say, really?
Yes, because USM is not only the energy field, but it is the community. Really, you, the students and the graduates, are the product of the university. So, well, how about if we take a look at our handout, which has quotes by two great philosophers, Ralph Waldo Emerson and Piglet. Do you want to read the Emerson quote?
I love Emerson. For each new morning with its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food, for love and friends, for everything thy goodness sends. That's a great Thanksgiving poem, is it not?
Isn't it? And then we have from the Winnie the Pooh series, a little quote about Piglet. Piglet noticed that even though he had a very small heart, it could hold a rather large amount of gratitude. It's so delightful. So gratitude is a positive and powerful, attractive field. It's a portal to grace. The sharing of gratitude creates an experience of sanctuary and nourishment for all to partake. As we gather in the spirit of Thanksgiving, we invite you to consider the quotes from the two great purveyors of wisdom, Emerson and Piglet. Recently, when we were visiting our favorite Starbucks, we saw a hand-printed banner a barista had posted, "Gratitude makes what you have enough." Wow. We both had the same response of being humbled by this simple truth that moved us into presence. God's memos can be found everywhere. As a divine being, having and using a human experience in service to awakening, what are you grateful for as we enter the season of Thanksgiving? What blessings, both great and small, expand your heart, uplift your spirit, and assist you in navigating the twists and turns of the Earth School classroom? Sometimes gratitude is childlike, having to do with chocolate ice cream, a cozy sweater, your favorite meal. Sometimes it's of the conscious self, gratitude for the grace of good health, family, and friends. Sometimes it's the high self-gratitude for being aware and awake of the goal line and soul line, the spiritual context, the leverage of compassionate self-forgiveness, the grace of healing something for the last time, gratitude for the lessons of the Earth School, for soul moments, and so much more. What are you grateful for? So before we take a few minutes for your reflections of a grateful heart, we wanted to share a short meditation with you. And this meditation is called the Spirit of Gratitude. So once again, I invite you to gently close your eyelids and to focus your awareness in your heart, which is the portal to the experience of yourself as loving. And perhaps one of the things I love the most about gratitude and moving into the spirit of gratitude is that it can immediately lift me out of the doldrums, out of any sense of dejection or discouragement, separation. And as we lift, we move into the consciousness of grace, the consciousness of abundance, the consciousness of loving and caring and sharing. We elevate ourselves on the soul line. And you know that Ron is fond of saying, gratitude is one of the gifts, perhaps one of the few gifts that we can truly give to spirit. And in this meditation, you'll have the opportunity to very consciously identify and express gratitude. I'm going to share some gratitudes as a way of starting. I'm grateful for the awareness of my already open heart. I'm grateful for the blessings and gift of life. I'm grateful for the opportunities to be of service, to bring forward the strength of my heart, to share blessings with the many around me, and to know that in so doing, I am blessed. I'm grateful to know that my essential nature is loving, that I'm inherently worthy beyond measure. I'm grateful to know the difference between ego reference thinking of the small self and authentic self reference thinking in harmony with the soul and higher consciousness, that incredibly elevating operating system. I'm grateful that I'm learning more and more how to switch channels inside me, recognizing I always have a choice about what I listen to inside and in my way of relating with myself and, of course, with others too. I'm grateful for the experience of self-compassion and self-acceptance. I'm grateful that I recognize that no amount of self-improvement will make up for any lack of self-acceptance. I'm grateful to know that I am a spark of the divine, that God resides within me. I'm grateful for the experience of peace that surpasses all understanding. And we invite you now, move into the spirit of gratitude so that you can reflect on, in the silence of your own heart, the flow of gratitude that is always present and available inside of you. And allow yourself to experience the expansion, the upliftment, and the fulfillment that comes through the experience of gratefulness. And we'll bring the closed eye part of this meditation to completion. And you can continue it, eyes open, noting your reflections of your grateful heart in the space that's provided on the handout. And bear in mind William Blake's beautiful quote there, gratitude is heaven itself. So we're going to give you a little time for this process, and we'll check in with you again in about 7 or 8 minutes. All right. Well, let's gently bring that to completion. And of course, you can write as we carry on through the evening and beyond. There is always an opportunity for sharing gratitude. So we're going to open this up for some sharing at this point. And maybe you want to share something that you're especially grateful for, something that you have learned with regard to the consciousness of gratitude, whatever's present for you on this theme that we're working with here this evening. And we're going to ask that you start with your name. If you're a grad, if you would please say so. If you're new to USM, you're very welcome to share here. And also we ask that you would indicate that you are new to USM. So Mitch, let's start with you.
And let's all remember to go to the essence of what it is. No long stories.
All right. Good evening. Hi, Ron and Mary.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi.
Hi. Great to see you again. So wonderful being with you both after it's been a while for me. I loved how you opened the evening. What John Roger had to say moved me deeply as well, Ron. And it's pretty remarkable
Yeah.
very remarkable. I do have a question. It's minor. Was he using the words Konar University initially, and you've put in University of Santa Monica since then?
Yeah.
Yes, because the school, when it was founded, was Koinar, which means Mountain of Light.
Yeah, thanks, because that's beautiful. Thank you for that clarification. So it's amazing what you two have created. I did want to express right at the jump here my gratitude for both of you and your commitment to us, to this community, to spirit, to what you continue to bring day after day, month after month, year after year. It is mind-blowing to me when you figured out the amount of years, Ron, from 76. It is amazing. I am a grad. I graduated in 88. So I was in the class, and I'm in Philadelphia right now. That's where I studied with Ron and Mary. And it was Konar then, from 86 to 88. So I'm a longtime grad and love being here. And it's great to be with you. And my heart is filled with much love at the moment. And I will cut to the chase because I am grateful about something that happened very extraordinarily recently. So let's see, I'm going to laser this as best as I can. So I've been a lifelong Philadelphia Phillies fan and never got to go to see a World Series game. In 1980, I had a friend that was going to pick me up, but got into a car accident en route to my apartment, and I never made it to the game. So I watched it on TV. So I persisted in reaching out to the Philadelphia Phillies ticket office and was able to get through to a young woman that worked there who was able to extend tickets that had just opened up for what was called the National League Championship Series. I'm not sure how many people here understand how baseball works, but that was the series before the World Series. And I was able to buy tickets at face value for my family, for four of us. And it was remarkable. It was a great experience. The Phillies won. We were in heaven. And our seats were in the 200 level along the right field line. They weren't that great, but it was great to be there. But that was the championship series. The World Series comes about, which the Phillies, of course, were in, for those of us that follow baseball and are aware of this. And I continued to call the office. And this woman, she just wasn't taking my call. And I by the way, I did send a gift basket as an expression of heartfelt thanks right to her desk. So I think that made a difference, but I wasn't really expecting anything in return. Long story short, the day before the Phillies returned from Houston after playing in 2 games there, she emailed me, gave me her cell number, told me she had tickets for Halloween for the 31st, which was the first night the Phillies were playing at home. And much to my elation, these tickets were 3 rows off the field,
Wow.
sitting among partial owners of the Houston Astros,
Wow.
who I welcomed to Philadelphia when they arrived. And they were thrilled because they said, Mitch, not many people are welcoming us when we wear our Houston Astros clothing here. We're getting a lot of jeers. I said, it's a tough place to play here in Philly. So I have lots and lots of side stories, but here's the bottom line. She extended tickets to me at face value for the next 2 home games as well. So I went to 3 consecutive World Series games here in Philadelphia. And I've been over, it's 2 weeks ago, and I'm still over the top from it. Of course, we didn't win, which is fine. So it was an expression of persistence on my part. And I was so grateful for this young woman. I sent her texts, photos, and it was incredible. It was incredible. So that's a quickie in terms of what I'm grateful for and having to be able to have that experience. Most people don't get to ever go to a World Series, let alone 3 games in a row. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So thank you.
Well, and it's such a great example, Mitch, really, of the power of intention and of holding a vision. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks. You're welcome. Great. It's great to be here with both of you and everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Robert.
Whoa. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yes. Hi.
Okay. Hi. I'm Robert. I'm a longtime grad in this program forever. And I'm just grateful for the presence of spirit tonight. Just so grateful for the beloved's presence, the awareness of the beloved's presence, which has always been here. And I'm I have been in the past a workaholic, a spiritual workaholic, and something has broken lately where whenever I see the need to effort at spirituality, no matter what it is, the workaholic seems to find a way to work at it. And I go, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's so simple. It's so incredibly simple to just tell that dear teenage workaholic, no, darling, you don't need to do this. Oh dear, I'm just overflowing tonight. And so thank you so much for this program, the lightness, the joy, this is an amazing program. So I'm just full of gratitude for you, the 2 of you in this program.
And it sounds like a real liberation, Robert.
Something has just broken open.
Yep. Beautiful.
Broken open. So thank you.
So glad. Thank you. Kathleen.
Oh gosh, Scott Melissa. Oh God. Had to call on him.
There. Okay. I'm just so grateful to see you. I feel like since I've been away for a few months, I feel like I'm as someone walking in the desert, and here is this oasis. It's just a joy to see you, to hear you, to understand and comprehend and be inspired by your words of wisdom. I'm overflowing with love and gratitude, and you fill up my heart and soul. I'd like to tell you about a specific gratitude. I guess I wrote to you about it, so I guess you know about it, but this happened a bit before. I was taking one of your courses, and my heart was very heavy. I didn't feel good, and my heart was very heavy, and it was painful. So I went to the cardiologist, and he said, you have a blocked, whatever it is, it's valve. Anyway, it was blocked. And so I had to be extremely careful. I couldn't do stairs, I couldn't walk, I couldn't dance, etc., etc. And it took a while to go to this specific place where they had a big machine that they were going to look at me better and fully. And in between that, I had a session with you and the trio, and we were working on memories. And I brought up a very, very painful memory for me from the teenage years, where I thought, oh, no man is ever going to love me because of what happened then. And really, really worked that and really healed it. Okay, so then I go and take this test with this great big machine, and the results came back from the doctor, and guess what? My heart was not blocked. So, what can I say? But I'm just I'm brought to tears with everything that you do and USM, and how very grateful I am. Thank you.
It's incredible how the grace of God is present. How, as we let go of the crystallized emotions and judgments associated with memories, how not only is the consciousness opened, but very often there is a physical blessing as well. Not always, but I'm so glad there was for you, Kathleen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary and Ron.
Thank you for your sharing.
Gives you another thing to sing your way through.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Ron. Oh, I'm doing all these plays now and musicals here where I'm living. It's just wonderful.
Beautiful.
Grand time.
Beautiful. I'm so glad. Let's see. I was going to call on you, Scott, because I saw you had your baby.
Hello, Ron and Mary. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Well, USM has brought me this beautiful baby girl named Savannah, the greatest gift in the world. And the theme of this is family. As you know, my partner is also USM grad, and my heart is just overflowing this season with love and joy for what USM has brought me. I can't tell you how much it means to me to have my own family. And Cecily has 3 kids of her own, and now my stepchildren. So we have 4 total. And the irony of all this over this Thanksgiving, sorry, Savannah keeps moving this, is that for the first time since I graduated USM in 2007, my mom is getting on an airplane. The last time she got on an airplane was to see me graduate at USM, to fly to Austin to spend Thanksgiving with me and my family, with my brother-in-law and their kids. So, it's just, all I can say is the moment I stepped into that building in 2005, my soul knew that your program, that energy, that was going to change me. And it took me 20 some years plus afterward to finally heal a lot of trauma from my childhood and a lot of fears that I had around commitment and love and relationship, to opening my heart to someone. But when the universe brought Cecily into my life, it was just a clear hell yes. And the universe just conspired in our favor to bring her this little beautiful girl, and she's fighting me right now. But Ron, Mary, we owe you a letter. I've been meaning to write you a letter, Cecily and I, so we're going to get that to you at some point with our story. I'm just so grateful you called on me. And Mitch, I'm a diehard Phillies fan too. I was right there with you every step of the way. I didn't get to go to any games, but I would have gone in Houston if they were up 3-2 or had a chance to win in Game 7. So anyway, Ron, Mary, everyone, USM, it's good to see everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Scott, why don't you hold the baby up and we'll all send her light.
And you blessed her like when she was 3 or 4 months old.
Yeah.
And I swear that really resonated with her.
Now we can all do it again. So let's just all focus our love and light. Look at that smile.
Say hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Oh my gosh.
She's the best, really.
Oh, that is just so cool.
Priceless. God bless you.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Michael.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Rod and Mary.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So, yeah, my name is Michael Lesbinos. I graduated in 2014. And if it's okay, I actually there's quite a bit I want to share. I'm gonna be as concise as possible, but yes, good. So 2 months ago, I ran into a situation. Well, I don't know if you remember, but at USM, do you remember or recall me having some serious sleep issues, some insomnia issues? I don't know if you recall, but it was pretty severe. Like I am not kidding. I've gone 10 days without sleeping, and yeah, and it actually started at USM, and I think that just unearthing the depth of trauma that I was going through, it just was a lot for me to handle. And so in the last 8 years since graduating, I've dealt with the insomnia issue on and off. And especially in times of stress, it comes on very, very strongly. And so 4 or 5 months ago, I moved to Atlanta. On one of the calls, I shared that I got a dream job and was able to move to Orlando, just following spirit, and ended up in this position where, here in this new city, a ton of stress in the sense of the job has a lot of traveling, constantly in front of people, a lot of content for me to master and be able to facilitate in a room. And then also the level of stress of I work from everything from like individual contributors at an organization all the way up to senior management to the executive suite. So it was like, so it's pressure, it's a lot of pressure. And so 2 months, well, September, so a few months ago, I was in a few cities back to back, and then I ended up getting into this insomnia situation where I was having a hard time sleeping. And I spent about 5 days not sleeping at all and still working. And, somehow miraculously being able to show up and still do my job and do it very well. But then when I finally got back home, I now that I could relax and I was trying to sleep, I just couldn't. So it was about a 3 week period where I would go 3 days not sleeping, and then I'd sleep an hour, another 3 days not sleeping, and it got to the point where it was so miserable and so like I could not function, anxiety levels just crazy. And so at this point, I was like, I was against the whole thing of Western medicine and pharmaceuticals and all that. But I was like, I need to do this. Like this, my survival depends on it, because I literally felt like I was going to die. Like if I don't do something, I'm going to just completely deteriorate. So I tried to set up appointments. It was super hard to do because it's like, yeah, you can have an appointment in 3 months. And it's like, yeah, I don't have 3 months, And so finally, I was able to see a sleep specialist who went through a thorough history. I I did some sleep studies, and he was able to help me out with a medication that actually worked, thank God. And I started to sleep again, and I had to take time off work. I went on a leave of absence for 5 6 weeks, and fortunately, work was very supportive through that whole thing. And so I've been back to work now for about a month, and I'm sleeping better than ever.
Yeah.
And there's so much I've learned through this experience, but it's amazing how, there were moments where I didn't know that I was doubting my survival, that I would truly survive through the experience. And also just dealing with it for 8 years of constantly having to struggle with this on and off. And now I feel like it's done. I feel like it's over. Like I feel like I feel like I have a medication that works for me. I have a specialist that I can see if I ever have any issues. And I feel amazingly grateful. I mean, it's like words can't even express. I feel like I've died and come back to life again. So yeah, yeah, it's unbelievable.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you ever give a voice to the part that was having challenge sleeping?
Yes. And I did so through freeform writing. And what you'd like to know what that was about?
Well, not personally, but it might be helpful. I don't know.
Yeah, I did give it a voice. And essentially, I mean, I'm just going to be very direct. It was
Sure.
about this deep desire to prove myself, my worth, my yeah, and I think, with my past experiences in life, I mean, I think we all deal with worthiness to some degree, but I think that this pressure for me, especially, being an African American man, doing the type of work that I'm doing, speaking with the people that I'm having to speak with, is like so much pressure. And I finally have I'm learning more and more to just surrender and trust and know that I'm enough and all that.
How did you work with that part?
So I still practice a lot of the USM practices. So I still do freeform writing. I still do self-counseling. I still do self-forgiveness. And I think too, the other thing I would say is when going through an experience that is that severe, like there's the psychological defense mechanisms are like, there's none. And so whatever is raw and honest, like it comes out very easily. So, I'm a big believer in crying. I did a lot of crying and like shedding that energy, whatever it was, crying it out of myself and intentionally crying it out. And yeah, and as you say, Ron, cry all your tears. Like I would do that. And yeah, I definitely feel free from it all.
Good. So just in case it should come back again, so the one thing that I would highly recommend, and you might want to do it anyway, in fact, you could do it right now, is just close your eyes and go inside. And whatever that place is inside of you from which those experiences emerged, is for that place to know once and for all that you never did anything wrong and that you are, in fact, a divine, loving being having and using a human experience for the purpose of awakening. And that there never was, or in fact can ever be, anything wrong with you, regardless.
Indeed.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you both.
Joy.
Hello there. It's so wonderful to see you and here. The first thing I'm grateful for, I miss you guys so much and our classmates. I guess I graduated in 93. Arlene is telling me it's 94, but I don't have my diploma in front of me. But I'm so grateful that you have these Zoom meetings for us to get together. I mean, it opens my heart so much. And I'm also great. I'm recovering from COVID right now. I'm on day 15. And 3 years I went without getting it, and 11 one brought it in home. And so it's inevitable that I got it. But what I'm grateful for is my health, that I'm recovering. And this reminds me of the power of gratitude, because when I was really sick with Lyme disease many years ago, I would lay on the couch after working as a massage therapist, and I would come home and be on the couch and I would feel sorry for myself. I was single. I thought, who's going to love me like this? I'm a mess. I don't have energy to go to the theater or to a movie or anything. And I thought about my friend Blair Fox, he was a quadriplegic in a wheelchair, and he had the happiest attitude of anyone I knew. And I thought, if Blair can be happy, he can't feel anything from the chest down, but he has the best sense of humor, the best attitude. I'm going to be like Blair. And I just started, I'm grateful that I can walk. I'm grateful that I can feel my body. I'm grateful that I can see, that I can hear, I can touch and smell and taste, all the basic things that we take for granted.
That's
And
right.
that was a turning point in my health and helping me recover from Lyme, was just being grateful for what I had. And it's just like the sign you saw, it's like being grateful for what we have is enough. And then it brings more. It brings more.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to share that, and that I'm every day I'm grateful that I'm getting better and better. And this has been awakening for me, having lost some friends to COVID, and also age and other, heart, whatever. Just I'm sick. I made it to 66, and when I was born, I couldn't swallow. I couldn't, my lymph nodes I was born with an infection, antibiotics didn't work. I could have died because I couldn't take in milk. And they used radiation to shrink my lymph nodes so I could swallow. I'm so grateful to be alive.
Yeah.
66 years, And so
Boy, that really is old.
But I'm so grateful for life, even with every health opportunity that has come up. There's always a lesson. There's always a blessing. And I always learn something, and then I can help other people, being a health educator. I don't work at Optimum Health anymore in Austin or San Diego. I'm here in San Miguel de Allende in Mexico now, semi-retired. But I'm just grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful to you. And I saw Arlene on here, and when I lived in New York City, she was one of the people who encouraged me to do USM in Philadelphia before I moved to Santa Monica. So I'm grateful to her. I'm grateful to you. Thank you for all the love you share, all the light you share. Oh, I have a question. I was watching Ted Lasso the other day, and someone said on there, would you rather be right or be in your loving? And I thought, did that writer go to USM?
Could be. Could very well be.
But anyway, I just wanted to thank you. I'm very grateful to be alive, and grateful that you have these Zoom sessions to connect us all.
Well, and it's our intention to continue having them.
Thank you.
And thank you for your wonderful sharing, because what you brought forward from your experience of the power of being grateful for the blessing that is present is a tremendous key in healing. Beautiful, Joy. Thank you. It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you. It's wonderful to see you. I love you guys. Thank you.
Shelley.
Hi there.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm Shelley. I am a grad of 2010 and CHH 2012 and currently auditing. And I just really wanted to say how grateful I am for all of the tools we've been given right now. I work at Amazon and woke up to news this morning that my job may be in jeopardy as part of the 10,000 layoffs that are going to occur this week. I am currently on a medical leave, so I don't have inside access, but I know my team was brought into a meeting late this afternoon. So just the knowing of how I relate to this issue as this issue is present, as I'm prepping my project, which is me and my health and my well-being. I just am so grateful for the tools that has been provided, and it's all super unknown right now. And talking to a friend of mine today, we were talking about the 7-year cycles, and it kind of hit me that 14 years ago is when I was in first year and left my job in New York City. And 7 years ago, I chose to leave Los Angeles and be a caretaker for my father. And this month, next week, is my next 7-year mark of all of these things. So just really trying to be in the surrender of it all and knowing what's happening is for my highest good, even though in this moment, going into the holidays, being a provider for my family up here, it's the fears coming up, but knowing how to put that in the light and how to just trust and surrender, which are my qualities again this year, is so valuable to me. And thank you, Joy, for sharing about your health stuff as I'm going through some of that as well. That share was so powerful and beautiful.
Yes, yes. And thank you for sharing this, and it gives us all the opportunity to send you the light, not only for your healing, but also having to do with your employment and next steps, Shelley. And what you said about the practices just reminded me of USM is so much about presence, purpose, and the practices.
Yeah.
Part of what is beautiful, it's like through the work that we do, through moving into the spiritual context, there is that revelation, really, of the beautiful authentic self or soul essence within you, within each one. And as we do this work, the greater awareness and revelation of soul's purpose, that the first purpose we really all share in common, and that is to awaken into our essential loving nature and live life in that loving. And then the practices, we're going to do a new process this weekend. You'll be there in class. And one of the quotes on the handout is about before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. And, you know, that most people, when they start consciously awakening spiritually, they have been much more identified with their doing. And that as the awakening occurs, there's the awareness, oh, it's who am I being as I'm doing, whatever I'm doing.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. And the radiance of your light just really shines through you, Shelley.
Thank you.
Thank you for your sharing. All right, so let's see here. Marcia.
Hi, I am so grateful to be here that I came to participate today, and I haven't been coming to any of these Zoom meetings because I haven't been doing so well, and I felt like I would just sit here and compare myself to everyone, and I'm totally not doing that. I'm just feeling everybody's love and heart. And so first, I just wanted to say I'm grateful to both of you, Ron and Mary, for your service. It just is so meaningful to me. I graduated in 2006, and what I'm feeling right now, actually my life has been very challenging since that time. I've had many challenges, and I got sick, and I'm disabled, and I lost my job, and because of that, I had to move in with my mother. And I hadn't spoken to my mother in like 20 years because she was the one that I felt had emotionally abused me. when I came to USM, my mother was my relationship project. And I thought I had completely healed all the issues with her while I was at USM. However, I still hadn't talked to her in that 20 years. So the healing was taking place in me, but not with this person in my life. So I moved in with her, and it was excruciatingly painful at the beginning to get along with this person. And what I'm feeling right now, my mother passed away in 2000, right before the pandemic. And I was so grateful that she passed before the pandemic, because I know she couldn't have handled it. And I couldn't have handled living with her during this time. I felt moving in with her that my path was spirit guided, because I wouldn't have chosen to have her in my life again. And I felt like I was supposed to learn how to have some kind of communication with her. So my biggest gratitude towards my mother is I feel I'm grateful for her, because I feel like she taught me who I am not, so that I could learn who I am. And I'm so grateful for that. So I wanted to say about tonight, I guess what I'm getting out of tonight is this is my home. USM is my home. And I feel so happy being around all of you. And I've been feeling for a very long time that I don't fit in the world anymore and I don't have a purpose. And all I have to do is come back into the Zoom call and just remember that I fit in here at USM. I always will fit in. And I have a purpose in the world. And because I went to USM, I know what that is. So anyway, I'm grateful to be here. It's so wonderful to be in the USM loving energy field. It's really powerful to me. And just to remember that I do belong here. And that's it. I thank you for everything, and thank you for everyone that shared.
So I just have something I'd like to share with you.
Sure.
And actually it's for everybody, but because you brought it forward, it's not uncommon that when we go through, let's call it a down period or a negative period, that will feel inside like we don't belong, we want to pull away. And it's important to remember that the more you feel that way, the more you want to be here. The more you want to not allow that to pull you out of the participation. Because first of all, it's a misbelief. It's not true that you don't belong here. You can't ever not belong here. I mean, you understand? It's that you can't ever not belong here. You're one of our family.
Thank you for saying that. That means a lot to me.
And the more that you feel like you don't, the more you need to be here.
Be here. Okay.
So I hope you're really hearing that.
I'm hearing it. Got it. Thank you. I love you guys, and I feel like I'm on a labyrinth spiritual path, and I feel so grateful to have all these fellow soul travelers with me. So thank you.
Do you have a positive affirmation?
I do. Let's see. As a child of God, I perceive myself as a lovable and worthwhile person.
Take out the I perceive myself and replace it with I am.
Okay.
And put it out, get it, write it out on a piece of paper, not as opposed to on your phone.
Okay.
and tack it up someplace
Okay.
where you'll see it frequently.
Okay.
And I acknowledge you for the work you did in USM having to do with your relationship with your mom, and that you had another round when it became necessary to live with her. It sounds to me like that was very spirit orchestrated, and you seem to
Yeah.
recognize that, Marcia,
Yeah.
that spirit put you there so that you would have an opportunity to learn how to communicate with her. And as you said, to learn experientially the truth of who you are, rather than any conditioned beliefs about yourself based on early experience.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So I just have to tell you this. I haven't seen you since 2006, and you guys still look exactly the same.
Thank you. So kind of you. Kind of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see here. Jonathan.
Hey, Ron and Mary, how are you?
Good.
I appreciate Marcia sharing it. It resonated with me so much. And my love goes to her so deeply. I haven't participated. I think I was on one Zoom. I'm not a Zoom guy because with work, I deal with technology and calls and computers and so much. So I've tried to do everything I can to stay away from the technology, but I really felt called to participate and see the two of you and be amongst all the beautiful souls. I was a graduate I'm a proud graduate from 2015, and so grateful for the education, the opportunities for healing, the continued lessons that I get, and the tools that have offered me to really hunker down and focus and in becoming my best version, which has been really my intent for the last several years, is to really become whole and complete. And for the first time in many, many years, I can actually say I feel really happy with me. And
Good.
it's taken me a long, long time. And I know there's a lot of lessons that will come and learnings and healings. But I've come to accept that my past is my past. What will come towards me will come towards me. But how I show up is as a loving soul with honor and respect and being truthful. I think what I've learned and I think what I didn't do in USM as well as I would have liked to have had done was be more truthful with myself. I was afraid to be truthful. And my affirmation and my word for 2022 has been being truthful, and I will continue to do that. I had sent an intention this year with my company I'm in the auction industry. I think you guys probably, if you remember that, and I've been doing it half my life. And I've been very grateful for the company I work for. And it's a very tough business to be in. People think that because people are economically in very distressed situations, that we in the auction business just make a lot of money and take pride that people were in difficult situations and because of that. But in reality, I have a lot of clients that I've helped save their companies. And I'm one of the few people in our company that have recurring clients. And one of the reasons I think I have those clients is because I learned to serve.
Mm-hmm.
And I shifted, when I was at USM, I was out of the auction business for a very short period. And before I entered, I made a declaration that I would go in and just be a serving soul to the clients, to all the the people who work for our company and anyone who obviously is participating in our sales. And it really shifted how I showed up with myself and the clients and even the executives and the management teams. And I really want to say thank you very much for that lesson of what service really means. And service ultimately came, I had to serve my soul before I could serve other people. And so
Correct.
this year, I brought in more net revenue in the 27 years I've ever been in the auction business.
Wonderful.
And have continued ongoing relationships with companies and have saved hundreds and hundreds of employees from losing their jobs. Clearly, unfortunately, there's companies that I deal with where people have lost their jobs, but every time I take on a project, I always think about those people who may have lost their jobs, and I send them light and loving, and then hope that their situation will improve. And it's a really hard work that I do, and I'm very torn. It's a very often I ask myself why I do what I do, and every year I say to myself, is this my last year? And that's a question that I'm still asking myself. And but what I will say is I'm just in gratitude to my company for allowing me to be myself in how I operate. And they've given me that responsibility and trust. And I use that word trust, that they entrusted me to show up this way. And it's made me be able to operate in a very difficult, at times, very tense, anxious environments, because we're dealing with ultimately a lot of money and risk on the table. So I'm really just in gratitude that I'm able to show up this way. And this time of year is very, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday of the year. And I always think of the two of you and USM, and I see your emails come and the meditations, and it just shines my heart that we have 220 people, including the two of you, and all of us are in our loving. And that keeps me going every single day to know we have such loving people out there in the world, even in the difficulties and the complexities. And I know it's 220 magnified over and over that there's so many loving people. And so I've just really set my intention to be the best loving Jonathan I can ever be. And Ron, I did send you a note. I live in the Palisades now.
I saw that.
And your conversations, your name comes up in a curtain I go to, but I go to the bluffs every single day, and I'm on the other bluffs that I think you go with, Mary, and I send you guys light all the time. So just know that I'm thinking of you guys, and I will participate more. And I want to send light and loving to everybody else here, and happy Thanksgiving. To Scott, I'm still hoping that I have a child. I'm calling in that beautiful partner that hopefully she'll show up soon, and that I'll be a dad. I'm holding on to that dream. And so thank you for everyone for listening, and to have a blessed upcoming 2023.
Well, great. And if you're interested, I'd be glad to go for a walk with you on the Palisades.
Be fantastic.
All right.
Jonathan, thank you so much for your sharing. I mean, what you shared is so beautiful about your heart-centered service approach and way of being. Beautiful.
Thank you very much, Mary. Thank you.
And Bonnie, please make a note of that.
Yes. All right. So let's see here. Loretta.
Oh gosh, Loretta.
See, we're not hearing you, Loretta.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you. What does she have to do, Mike?
Unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone.
Right. There I go. I
Yeah.
still don't know how to use this lousy machine.
That's not a good affirmation.
No, it's not, but I persevere, never give up.
There
And
you
I
go.
know I shall do it
There
one
you
day. but it's okay. Everything seems to be okay now. There's no mystery in that sense. You know, I'm so here, and I so was not here when I was in class back in USM. I mean, I realize how I live my life on such a strange level that I couldn't really own my life. I was in service all my life, and that's where I gave myself. I gave myself out there. And it's been so difficult to narrow back into me and my family and my life and my loves and my dreams and all of that. And so it took me 5 years to get to the courage to go on to MSIA, which I did. And that began a whole new outstanding, what should I say, awakening in me that started. I became hungry suddenly to go deeper and deeper because you guys really put a spark in me that just never died. And it's so alive. I've been in isolation for 3 years because of my medical status. And I've been so filled with life and love during these 3 years with how I've conducted myself and lived it. And I can only say that I dread to think what my life would have been without you all and without my community and my dreams and my loves and my expansion, that it's extraordinary. And I'm proud to still be of service and doing all that. And I'm in DSS now 4. And
Wow.
and I'm finding my way along a yellow brick road, which is the journey of my life, not really knowing what the hell I was doing in the past. But the sense of it, of the service, was my main area that stayed with me. And now I'm learning how to be of service to me and my son, Luke, who's also been doing marvelous stuff in his life as a result of USM. And I couldn't think of a more wonderful thing at my age to be doing than being in DSS, writing about my PT, my thesis, about being on that yellow brick road, seeking and finding God, which has happened, and the fullness I feel inside. And it's taken me so far away from where I started as this chalutza, this religious Jewish girl who lived back then and lived a gorgeous life in a way. It was rich, it was beautiful, but it wasn't really living as I know it now. And now I get to have my brother, Jesus, from another mother, being at my side in my life and in my life so strongly. And I can't tell you all the myriad of things that have come to me from my start at USM. And I guess I'll never stop starting. I'll just keep going.
Keep going. Keep going.
I love you both.
Thank
and
you
all
for
you've done for
sharing, Loretta.
Send Loretta, send our love to
Luke.
Joni.
To Joni. To
At PTS.
At PTS.
Oh, sure. Sure. I shared with her this weekend. Next time I'll do that.
Good.
Bravo. Love you both. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, and just a reminder that at about 10 of 8, we're going to be sharing the special announcements. So we'll hear from as many as we can in the remaining time that we have. So, Judy.
Hi.
Hi.
It's so wonderful to see you both. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful that my class was canceled tonight so I could be here. That was a blessing. I'm also grateful because what you were sharing earlier, I got to share with a client this afternoon that she is not a problem, that she never was a problem, that she's not a mistake, and that she matters. And to watch the tears come in her eyes
Yeah.
and to have her say, nobody's ever said that to me before. And she's 35. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just so grateful for this teaching. And I just wanted to throw that in because it just keeps rippling and it keeps happening and it keeps growing and more people get touched by all of us every day. So thank you for that.
Thank you so much. And I underscore what you just said about the incredible ripple effect that goes out from this community. It is beautiful. It's magnificent. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So, Angela.
Okay. I am so grateful to be here. So when I first tuned in, I flipped back to the very first time I attended an introductory meeting to USM. At that time, it was Kohinoor.
Mm-hmm.
And something in me said, this lady is going to heal your mother and is going to change your life. And that has happened. My vision of my mother these days is totally different than what I started with. I am so grateful she gave me life because my life today is so blessed. And I will tell you something else that I am so grateful for. My daughter has moved to Santa Barbara, my beautiful, loving daughter. And she is in a relationship with a wonderful, wonderful man that has unlimited resources. They bought a house up in the mountains here in Santa Barbara. Beautiful, it has a grandmother elevator. So I go down in the grandma. I was there today. My daughter picked me up for lunch and they cooked together.
Oh.
And I get to watch them cook because I don't cook. So, and they cook for me, whatever. They ask me what I would like, and then they cook it. But their place is paradisical. When you first walk in, everything is windows and ocean and mountains, and they just landscape their hill, which was paradisical. And they took me on a tour on my walker. They took me on a tour to show me what they just accomplished. And I thought, I'm a little girl coming from Brooklyn, New York. And all of my life I've worked and I've never really been abundant. But these days I'm abundant inside. Has nothing to do with outside. But I am having a little trouble getting used to this paradisical place that I'm brought up into. And by the way, he comes to me in Porsche, in a white Porsche. I mean, it is my inside and my outside agree. And I am just so grateful that I have the opportunity to be even more abundant, to move into the infinite. And inside of me, I move into the infinite because that's where God resides, in the infinite. And no matter where I go, it isn't anything like it used to be. I used to always have to do. I was always doing. I was always serving. Someone once said to me, "You're running out to serve. Who are you serving?"
Good question.
Great question. And these days, all I'm concerned with is bringing my presence, who I am, not what I do. Because I'm 91, I'm not doing very much. But I am bringing my presence to whomever. I'm bringing my loving to whoever I meet. I'm bringing my understanding. And it all started, Mary and Ron, with both of you, also with John Roger, who told me at one time that I brought everything in with me to resolve. Everything. He said, your life is going to be a burden because of the magnitude of everything that you have to clear. So I came in with a heavy curriculum, and I still look at it as my curriculum. But I'm very, very willing to deal with the now, what comes up in me now, because that is where I live, in the now. I am still living. I am still blessed. I am still taking classes. I'm always taking a class. Right now, I'm taking a class on the mystic Christ, because that seems to be the stream that comes into me most, is the Christ. I've had the Christ with me since I was a small child. And in fact, I thought any man that was kind was Christ, that was Jesus. So, but I am so incredibly and infinitely grateful at this time in my life to have the opportunity to tune into a Zoom on my computer with both of you, to take a class with Paul Kay, with MSIA on the Christ at this time of the year. That wherever I turn, wherever I look today, wherever I looked, it was paradisical. And not only that, but they cooked for me. They loved me. They drove me home. I said to him that my dream would be to ride in a Porsche. And he showed up at my door in his Porsche. So no matter what I ask for, no matter what I want inside comes to me. Whoever I drive with, we always have a parking angel, always. Whatever I am inside is contagious. it is not me. It is contagious. It comes through me. So I am infinitely grateful to both of you because you started the journey of healing that I did not think was possible. And you still continue the journey of healing for me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And God bless both of you.
And I trust you realize that we didn't start that in you. You just found it on this path, just like we found it with John Roger.
Yes, yes.
Love you, Angela. Thank you so much for your just beautiful sharing. And it's beautiful to see you, just the presence of love residing in the inner gold and the beauty of what you share. Your universe is reflecting to you.
Maybe someday I'll go in the Porsche. I used to have a 1966 Porsche.
It is so beautiful to ride in a white Porsche. I mean, and I said that I was going to drive around because I live in a low cost senior community. I was going to drive in this Porsche and wave at everybody. Just for fun.
For fun.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Miriam.
Miriam.
Hi. I started with Kohinoor. I graduated with USM in 94. And I have been auditing everything. My last graduation was in 2019. And what I'm grateful for deeply is for USM, which means the two of you, USM, and I'm also deeply grateful for myself for choosing you again and again and again. That's it.
Beautiful, Miriam. Well, you know, some of those who have spoken this evening have been pillars in the community and in the classroom throughout the years that we have been doing this work. And what a joy and blessing it is.
It is. It is. Honestly, it has changed my life. It is so precious, so precious. Thank you very much. And by the way, I loved seeing Jonathan. I hadn't seen him in a long time, so I loved seeing him also. Thank you very much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you, Miriam. And hi, Sebastian.
All right. So, Leanna, let's talk with a recent Loyalty to Your Soul workshop participant.
Hi. Wow, you remembered. I was going to have to introduce myself. Wow, it's so nice to see both of you. And Ron, seeing you gush over a baby was just so delightful. Thank you for doing that. So thank you. So I was intending to write a letter to both of you, and I didn't know how to do that. So this is perfect because I really just wanted to thank you so much for having the opportunity to share with both of you about my mom's death. And, you know, growing up in MSIA and Insight seminars, being able to come into USM, and it just gave me a whole other vantage point. And I felt like, I just can't describe it other than that. I felt like it's working my conscious self-awareness in a much different way, and being able to integrate my intuitive nature, my empathic nature. It just really helped me to unlock where these judgments are coming from that I wasn't even aware were impacting my consciousness and how I was viewing things. And it really allowed for just such a deep level of healing. So, and just the way that both of you are so patient. Oh my God, like you're so patient the way that you listen, and the compassion, like just experiencing that was just a teaching to me of how I can do that with myself. And so I just really wanted to thank you. I feel like I got to heal a very deep hurt inside of me, and I feel so much better. And I know there's probably a lot more to do, but I feel like I have a great springboard to work from. And I wanted to thank you. Yeah. And I see Arlene's here, and I just want to give her a shout out, and all of the staff and the volunteers. You guys do such amazing work. And I just wanted to add one other thing. I'm in Southwest Florida, and we went through the Hurricane Ian. And there's been just a lot of grace in a lot of the upheaval that's gone on. But one thing I wanted to share was the gratitude for, like, we didn't have power for like 10 days, like no electricity. And then there was like this joy of waking up the next day after the hurricane and being like, oh my God, like we're alive, like we survived. And then hearing the birds sing and seeing the squirrels play. and then like, oh, we have no electricity, so let's open the windows and let the breeze come in. And the gratitude for God being in everything, and the time to just be without a TV. And so I just wanted to share that because it's just it was such a blessing, you know.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness, I hear you. An experience like that can be so powerful in really bringing us back to ground of what is most essential. And the joy and gratitude and appreciation in life and the magic of the moment.
Yeah.
Beautiful, Lane. Thank you so much.
Yeah, God bless you, and I love you, and I keep you in my heart and pray for you every day. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, we're getting very close to completion. Eliza, I think we're going to turn it over to you. And before we do, we just want to thank all of you for being here tonight. And Eliza, take it away.
All right. I will take it to the exciting, very, very exciting news. Before I do, I just have to, of course, express my gratitude for USM, for you, Ron and Mary. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine walking through the doors of USM in 2010 was literally the best decision I ever made. I think certainly in the top 2 or 3 next to incarnating and, some other things, but top 2, I would give it top 2. And the lessons and the liberation and the, freedom really to live in an awakened state, I don't think has ever been more needed as right now, at least in my life. And I am so grateful for this education. And this education really starts, as we know, with Soul-Centered Living 1. So Soul-Centered Living 1 is the 10-month program that really shares the practices and principles of USM in a sustained, consistent, extended 10-month program. And I am so very thrilled to share with you that we will be holding a 2023 Soul-Centered Living 1, a way of being and a way of life. And I have had the great pleasure of being really involved in taking USM into the pivot online. And I have to tell you guys, I see many of you here tonight who are grads and have been participating in the online program, and many of you who haven't. And I just want to share with you, it is outstanding. And the education itself, the content it's just more and more refined. That's why we have changed, we have enhanced the title of the program, Soul-Centered Living 1, a way of being and a way of life. And it is just so true that when you get the great pleasure of learning this way of life, everything changes. Everything changes. And so I extend the invitation to you to come join us for this incredible year. If you are a newcomer, please, we have this incredible new homepage. That's the other really exciting thing I want to share with you. There is a link in the chat right now. This page is gorgeous, and the energy of the program leaps off the page, and there's so much rich information on this page. So I invite you to explore that page. I invite you to call us and schedule a conversation. In a couple minutes, I'm going to introduce you to the admissions team, which is very exciting. But I feel called to share something that Drs. Ron and Mary Hulnick wrote on the website. It's on the homepage. Never has the need on the planet for this work been greater, nor the opportunity and necessity to heal the issues we took embodiment to heal more apparent. And never have the opportunities for deep healing and revelation of the majesty of the authentic self been more available. My gosh, if that isn't an outstanding invitation, I don't know what is. So I really invite you all to consider joining us for this year. And the other thing I feel called to share is there have been a lot of you tonight who have expressed gratitude for this education and maybe feel a little far away from it. Audit the program. It is an incredible way to refresh the skills. It is an incredible way to rejoin the community, to come home, as it was referred to tonight. And there has been a lot of changes in it. Like there's no homework, there's incredible recommended reading and incredible in-class work and incredible ways to connect with each other between the class weekends. But really read the homepage, call us at admissions. We can't wait to talk with you about this. So I'm going to take a breath and get to the next stage.
But before you do that, Eliza, I wanted to just add one of the most important elements in the new program. Is that there is a whole new basic understanding of what we used to use as the 5-line model, as like an upgrade. But it's the kind of thing that I think is not just an information upgrade, it gives you a whole new tool, a whole new way of looking at the world. I mean, this will be made available to the community at large, but if one wants to really be a part of it in the class itself, that's going to be living into this new format, this is the way to do it.
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that forward, Ron, because that reminds me that we recently held the workshop with a whole bunch of new students who came in, and the work that these students did was
amazing,
off the charts. I mean, for those of you who have been in this community for a while, when I say it was practicum level work, you know what that means, and it was in one weekend. And so, if any part of you misses the community and misses the work as a grad, please consider joining us. It's going to be an incredible year. And if those of you out there who haven't participated in USM yet, oh my gosh, this is the time to do it. So I am so excited to stand forward as one of your 2 admissions advisors for the 2023 year. And I'm going to take a minute and introduce you to our other admissions advisor, Holly O'Donnell, who is going to say hi.
There we go. Hello, my name is Holly, and I have the great privilege of assisting the university to fill the 2023 class. And I just want to share that I have recently completed year 1, year 2, CHH, Loyalty to Your Soul, and it is a very sacred job title to bring the next wave of souls forward to do this beautiful work. And so it's a privilege, and I am so looking forward to getting to know anyone who feels called or curious to join us.
Yeah,
nice. Very nice.
I'm so excited to work with you, Holly, for this year. And when we were working today, I was sharing with some colleagues earlier, just a wave of energy came forward. And we both had, the goosebumps of what's coming up in this year. So we will have a way to connect with us on the website. I think we will have our scheduler up and running if it's not already. And we can't wait to connect with you. It's one of my greatest joys to talk about this work with people who are interested in it. So we cannot wait to connect. And I'm going to be in a mingle room after we complete tonight. You can join. It will say Eliza's mingle room or something of the sort. You can press on the breakout rooms down on the bottom of your Zoom screen. Come talk to me. Come ask questions. I'm your gal, and I can't wait to connect, and neither can Holly.
I'll do it.
Okay. Here's another piece of information that just recently has come forward that to us is extremely exciting. And since Mary had the major part in getting this all happening, I'm just going to let her share it.
Really, it's like Spirit brought it forward, but we are so excited. I have been working for more than a year on a monthly basis with 2 USM grads in the Middle East, and who just have the spirit of USM and this work of spiritual psychology deep within their being, deep within their heart. And in August, we signed a contract, and they are intending to offer the Loyalty to Your Soul workshop in the Middle East in April. And that is only the beginning of their vision and intention. And what's beautiful is not only do they have the spirit of this work inside of them, but they have the consciousness, the gifts and abilities that are really required to move this work into manifestation in that region. And I must say, it is just a joy and a sacred privilege for me to work with them and to support them in this process. And you'll be hearing more about this too as we go forward. But this is a huge opportunity, possibly there have been many exciting things through the years, but to consider that this work these seeds can be planted deeply.
Will be
planted in that region. And there's more to come on this. So stay tuned and we'll share as we go forward. So to complete tonight, let's see, Eliza, do you want to talk about the next gathering?
Yes, I sure do. But I'm so filled with gratitude, I can't remember the incredible new title.
Yes, well, the gathering in December will be on Thursday, December 8th, and it is Cultivating Soul Moments in this Season of Love.
I knew it was magnificent because I remember reading it and going, cultivating soul moments in this season of love. So go ahead.
Yeah, so join us for that. It'll really be such an uplifting evening. And I'm sure everyone who's here tonight has had experience of a soul moment. But imagine becoming more aware of them, learning how to seed for them, to experience more of them, which only helps accelerate your awakening and elevate your consciousness. So we love you all. We wish you a blessed, joyful
life.
Yes, and Thanksgiving. And we'll look forward to seeing you in December. And for those of you that are second-year students, stay tuned. You've been waiting for some news about CHH. We're going to talk with you in the weekend.
I just want to remind everybody there's a link to the next Worldwide Community Gathering in the chat. You can RSVP now and send that December 8th date. And we love you. I'm going to unmute you so we can all say good night.
Okay.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Everybody, love you.
Thank you all.
So good
to see you.
Everybody say good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. I love you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night.
night. Good night.
Guys, love you.
Love you.
Bye, Mirala.